If there was a way to live 7 years longer, would you take it? Well, I'm going to tell you, it doesn't make a lot of sense at first, but I want you to think about it. And if you disagree, feel free to write BS in the comments. But there's some research to show that there's a strong correlation between longevity and attitudes that people have towards aging. So it's not experimental, it's just correlational data. But basically, it shows that those who are more positive, they think that the aging process is going to go well. They tend to live longer. So again, at first, this really doesn't make a lot of sense, but let me explain how this could at least have some weight. So first and foremost, those who are optimistic tend to live longer than those that are pessimistic. Second is those that have more positive views towards the aging process tend to take medical care more seriously. They tend to do preventative care. And whenever there's an ailment, they think about it as something that could be fixed instead of something that's just part of the aging process. And lastly, if you think about discrimination and isms, age is definitely the most or one of the most fluid of these categories, where typically speaking, everybody starts off very young, and then as time goes on, they get older and older. So this is important because ageist attitudes typically begin in childhood or adolescence, and those who carry these ageist attitudes throughout life internalize that ageism as they get older. So this is something that can lead to increased cardiovascular events and lower longevity. If you look at any of the literature on different types of isms and stereotype threat. So yeah, those are some of the ways that it's connected. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is real, or do you think this is BS?
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
Japan is facing a serious problem because they have an aging population. If you don't know what that is, it basically means that they have too many old people and not enough young people, and also not enough people being born. And basically it's predicted that I think by 2050, Japan and basically its population will be like halved, and there's just going to be way less people than there is right now. We're talking like in the high millions, like a lot less. I believe Japan currently has a population of about 128 million, and that's going to be like halved. Can you imagine what that will do economically and to the country in general? Like, that is a really big problem they're facing. And what is also contributing to this problem is the low birth rate. It's simply that people cannot afford to have kids in this economy in Japan anymore. Like, the yen is very weak and you can barely sustain yourself. I mean, I feel like this is worldwide a thing right now, not just in Japan, but it's just not a country that is built to support mothers or children in a sufficient way, I feel like. And that's why people decide not to have kids, because there's literally no benefit in it anymore. There's often not enough space for kids in kindergartens. The school system is very, problematic, let's put it that way. Mothers don't get any benefits when they become mothers. They basically lose their jobs in a lot of cases, and they can't get back to that position that they maybe once had. They are just not seen as equal to men. You know, there's just a lot of problems with the whole situation, and therefore this aging population situation isn't getting better as well. It's a very broad topic, and you can talk a lot in detail about many different things that affect this whole situation, but I find it very interesting. I first learned about this around maybe like 7, 8, 9 years ago, when I was like studying all about Japan back in my university. But yeah, this is, like I said, a complicated topic, a lot to cover. You could go into depth in a lot of these issues, but I thought I'd share this with you guys because since this is a Japan page, I feel like this is something I should talk about as well. Let me know your opinion, if you've ever heard of this, if you know about this problem, and what are your thoughts on it?
We have an aging population crisis in this country, and it's causing me to lose more sleep than normal lately. I talk about the silver tsunami, and it's here. And I'll be honest, it's coming a lot faster even than I thought it would. And I'm losing sleep at night because things that were sort of easy for me to navigate are even slightly more difficult for myself. What I mean is the good communities are full. It's not easy to find home health workers or any healthcare workers right now. There's a shortage. We know that. Communities that I trusted in and still do, but never thought I'd have issues with, I'm having issues and trying to stay on top of that. It's heartbreaking. It's concerning. I still think there's great care out there. But regardless of what you think you may do in the future, home health care, senior living, adult daycare, please start preparing. Please start getting your documentation in order, your finances in order, your power of attorney. A lot of you know I work out of Cleveland, Ohio. My business partner, Natalie, has an agency in San Diego. We are also doing a lot for employers. So if you work for a large company and you want more information on that, we are happy to share that with you. We are trying to get so much education out because like I said, I'm losing sleep at night and I'm starting to get worried, and I'm fearful of what 2 to 3 years from now will look like. We're desperately trying to stay ahead of that any way we can. So if you're not following me, please keep following because we will get through this together. But there is a lot to dive into. And like I said, it's coming quick. So not as a scare tactic. That's not why I'm saying this, but let's just navigate through this together and do the best we can.
The day our aging parent who has dementia can't remember our name can be a watershed moment. It can be especially difficult when we're their primary caregiver. I mean, it hurts because we're their child and we're there with them every day. And we worry about them worrying, who is this person taking care of them? Like, will they be scared of me? Will they stop letting me help them in the bathroom? But there are also financial implications to this. A woman who cares for her dad with Alzheimer's wrote this Time magazine article, and she shared that the first time her dad couldn't remember her name was when they were on the phone with his utility company, trying to transfer the ownership of his account to her so she could manage the payments for him. Because he couldn't provide her name, they couldn't transfer the account. There are just so many things that we have to think about when it comes time for us to sort of take the wheel for our parents. Beyond their care, a lot of family caregivers also need to take over our parents' finances, insurance, healthcare, legal matters. And most of us learn how to do all this as we go, often from others who've traveled this path before us, and sometimes by trial and error. It can be frustrating and all-consuming. So what did the woman do who wrote this article? She started building an app to help family caregivers know what to expect and what they'll need to do as they take over for their parents. And she's not alone. Many innovative companies in the caregiving space have been started by entrepreneurs who are also family caregivers and want to help others like them. The company that I work for, RubyWell, is no different. Most of our founding team members are or have been family caregivers too. We're building free tools to help relieve the financial strain of caring for an older family member. If you'd like to learn more about our free tools that help family caregivers save, find, and earn money, visit rubywell.com.
I can't imagine dying in office, serving for Congress. Genuinely, what is with Democrats serving for well into their 80s? I can't imagine getting throat cancer and then being yeah, I'm gonna stay in office. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna continue serving. Why, with that much wealth and power and ability to retire, are these people not doing so? And because I just cannot fathom. I can't imagine not getting out of there and just choosing to stick around and overstay my welcome, tank the whole country because of it. And it's got to be some kind of delusion or something, either individually and or both collectively on their part, where these people have been in power for so long, and power kind of warps your self-perception. You start to feel yourself maybe a little bit above it all, and maybe to the point of even being above something as natural and peasantly as aging, to the point where maybe this is all just a cope and an extensive form of denial on their part. This is the congressional establishment class's version of, I'm still young and spry. See, I can still do my job. Would a 80-year-old on the brink of death with esophageal cancer be able to do this, sitting in a chair in Congress and being completely out of your depth because your cognitive function is in the toilet? I imagine some of this is that kind of this delusion that they're above aging and above death, and the denial of it is a natural form of grief. It's not powerful people are the only people who overwork themselves and put off retirement in the assumption that they're not actually sick and aging. And maybe it is also peer pressure in a way, or at least they all feed back on each other in the sense that nobody sees anybody else dipping out and retiring, so they kind of all foster a collective delusion among themselves that because they're the powerful, wealthy elite, they are just immune to the natural process of aging and eventual death like the rest of us. It's just really kind of sad and pathetic that their obvious delusion or stubbornness to admit that they are just like the rest of us and susceptible to things like cancer and age and death are subjecting the entire country and so many marginalized people to a worse world just so they can pretend they're not aging, pretend that death doesn't come for them like it comes for us all.
Why do old politicians continue to stay in office until they're like 90? Until they die in office, pretty much. It's ridiculous. Are you that power hungry? Are you that money hungry that you cannot step down? All politicians have to retire by retirement age. They should be forced to. Give new people, younger people, a chance, a shot. Give them a shot at power too, at influence too. This is crazy. Once you hit 65 years old, you should not be allowed to run for any office.
Half of Korea's population is about to be over the age of 65 by 2072, which is in less than 50 years. By the time that I am in my 70s, half of the Korean population is expected to be over the age of 65, meaning non-productive or non-reproducing and most likely non-working. This is likely due to two things. One, Koreans aging and living longer and longer. Good for them. But two, Koreans not producing, not reproducing, and the population steeply declining, and people suggesting 30 to 40% decline in that 50-year era. This is particularly shocking given that currently, compared to the United States, there's actually not that much of a difference in the population over the age of 65, roughly around 18 to 20%. But by 2072, which is in less than 50 years, it is projected to be making up 50% of the Korean population. Let me know your thoughts on this population decline, this rise in the elderly. Is this a problem? Is this going to be a United States trend, a global trend? Are people just not reproducing because people are not comfortable with bringing children to this world? Or is this world just simply too tough to live in?
Low population rates are not a problem. It's a symptom. It's a symptom of inequality and unaffordability, but it's not a problem. The problem is that these countries are unwilling to take any steps to help with this, either by making it easier and more affordable for people to have children, or to increase immigration to, counter the effects of not having enough workers to support an aging population. Basically, the problem is a political problem, a political issue that goes far beyond just simply, the specific issue of population growth. That's the problem, not lower population growth in and of itself.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
Okay, so if you didn't know, Okinawa is known for like the longest living people on the planet. And I have to tell you some things that me and my husband have seen out here in the wild that have absolutely blown our minds. It's crazy. So one time we were at the park with our kids, and there was this old man who was probably in his 80s. He looked like he was in his 80s, but he could have been 100. He could have been 100 years old. I don't know. He was with a child at the park, a toddler, and they were going to go on this long slide. This old man stands up at the top of the slide and runs down it as fast as he could go. He was just laughing the whole time, having the best time ever. Okay, and then today, I went on a walk at the same park, saw a different old man who looked like he was in his mid-70s. Then again, could be 100, I don't know. And he was holding a vine that was down off of a tree. It was a long vine. He was holding onto it, had his leg stretched all the way to his head, standing on one foot. He had one leg stretched all the way to his head, stretching. An old man. What? I've never seen old people thrive like they do here in Okinawa. So there's got to be something here. I hope I get a little bit of it while we're here.
Look at this article. Americans aren't making babies and that's bad for the economy.
Go ahead and watch her video if you can. I watched a paper on Japan who was having a problem where their people also weren't having enough children to replace their workforce. However, unlike America, their immigration system wasn't very open, and so they couldn't even get new people to come into the country and replace those workers. In America, it's less of a problem because we have immigrants and they can come and do the jobs that we don't have people to do. But it actually can be really bad for the economy if you don't have enough workers. The thing is, you just don't need people to have babies to have new workers. You can just have immigration. But some of the consequences of not having enough workers is that you stop getting enough tax revenue to run your country. You stop having enough to pay the benefits to your retired and your veteran.
This has started to become a huge issue. The aging population around the world. People are living longer, which is fantastic. I love long life, but it will take a toll on us, especially because we are not having children like we used to, which makes sense because it's very expensive to have children. So we have all of these resources going to the older generation, and we are not having children like we used to. So it is literally shrinking like this. Huge on top, good in the middle, and then very small. And at a certain point, we'll have less and less children, and more older people. That will be a huge problem.
Okay, so there's a little more to unpack here. The average age of the House right now is 58. The average age of the Senate is 64. So while you're not wrong, you're also not right. If we look back at history, we will see that congressional members turned over a lot sooner. Once people were getting into their 50s, 60s, whatever, they were turning over power to the next generation to lead. So people like AOC, Jasmine Crockett, who are in their 30s, they should be the majority of who is leading our country, not the 80-year-olds that are running our country and making big decisions.
Demonstrated by this chart, which shows that younger people are a drag on economic growth and older people are a drag on economic growth. The prime age population is the segment that drives economic activity. So if the share of the population that is 25 to 54 is shrinking, which it is, then you're going to have more people that are acting as a negative force on the economy than a positive force on the economy. Many people say that the millennials are bigger than the boomers, but the facts show that the relative share of the prime age cohort is shrinking. So yes, the millennials will be a positive force on the economy, but it will be overwhelmed by the negative force of the 65 and over crowd.
The people really concerned about a declining birth rate are out of their ever-loving minds because they're concerned that you need a growing workforce to sustain an aging population could be easily solved by allowing more immigrants to the country who want to work. It would tax billionaires who could support millions of people for the rest of their lives, and you can also make it more feasible to be a parent because puppies have to stay with their mothers for 8 weeks, but human parents have to go back to work after 6.
You people who are broke and you're making a gang of kids, bro. You're pushing out all these babies.
I actually grew up saying if you are broke, if you don't have money, don't have kids. But then again, I realized that, having kids sometimes may not be an intentional thing. Even if you have protection, you have all the IUDs and all of the other things in the world, sometimes some kids are so strong, they're just like, yeah, I'm coming into this family. So I can't always blame the parents. But at the same time, I wanted to then ask everybody, when is the right time to have children? A lot of our parents didn't plan. They brought us into this world through love, loving one another, and we came back. And if they waited until they were financially stable enough to have us, would a lot of us be born right now? And for our generation, with the recession, with all of these things looming, when is the right time to actually have children? I feel like these are good questions that we should ask ourselves. Because if we wait until we have money, when will we actually have money? And what's that money gonna look like? Because yesterday's money is not today's money.
As a 38-year-old woman, I did not realize the amount of ageism I was going to encounter by getting on this app. I didn't realize that I was so fucking old until I saw a video about a girl who was pretending to throw up just because she was turning 25. I mean, I don't know if it's just I'm delusional and I actually am an old bitch, but I didn't think that being in your 30s was so fucking old.
Hi guys, how are you all doing? I saw this post and I said, no, I need to come discuss with us before I go to work. I saw it last night and the comments that I saw on this post was really disturbing. You can see I have no makeup on my face, nothing. This is my bare face. There is nothing wrong in aging. There is nothing wrong in aging. There is nothing wrong in it. 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, even 100, 120, 30, 130. There is nothing wrong in aging. We should stop age shaming people. We should stop it. There is nothing wrong in it. I watched a video and I'm going to show this video to you guys, then we continue. Let's watch this video together. going to take the sound out because it will get me copyright, so I can't post it. So do you see the actress there? And now let's go to the comment and see. Wait. So let's go to the comment and see what people, human beings like us had to say to her look. They came for her look. Even myself, I've been getting it. I'll post video and people will go, oh, you're old. Yes, I am. 40-something are your mates. I resemble your mates. Do you want me to look like 20 in my 40s? Make it make sense. I don't know why you should be shaming people. I even watched one of, what's her name? Bobby, is it Bobby Brown or something? I can't remember her. The one that acted in, oh God, I can't remember this movie. She's an actress. And they came for her. She's just 21. And people were saying, oh, she's old. She's like, even people were making videos talking about how she's aging. How did we get here? I know that everyone wants to look beautiful. I know that no one wants to age. No one wants to look, not even no one wants to age. They want to age, but they don't want to look old. My dear, those two goes hand in hand. If you age, you go look old. Even if you're using surgeries, at some point, it will still show. At some point, it will catch up with you. So what is this thing about aging? And mainly, we always do it to women. We age shame women a whole lot. Even I made a video yesterday, someone was telling me, oh, your Mary Kay is too much. And I said, do you have a problem with it? You put on foundation, you're in trouble. You don't put on, you're in trouble. You make your hair, you're in trouble. You don't make your hair, you're in trouble. Oh, you look old. You look there. What's the spots on your face? My dear, you create person. You even make one hair, like one string of hair. You can't. What's this age shaming thing all about? Because I saw that actress one, the American actress one, and I said, no. And I watched the Queen one yesterday, and I saw her one today, and I'm like, nah, this is crazy. And I've been seeing lots of that on my post, and I'm like, I know be your mate. 40-something, no be your mate. I want to age up to 120. That's my target. So why do you think you body shame me? And that's why I'm here with my bare face. This is me. Do you have a problem with it? Go hug Transformer. If you get problem with this face, go hug Transformer. That's all I have to say to you. So let's see some of the comment. Someone said, you're getting old, my favorite actors. It's just one person, and he said actors, okay? And then I wrote, isn't growing old a wonderful thing? Or would you disagree? I was asking him, isn't growing old a wonderful thing? Or would you disagree? It's a wonderful thing to age. It is. To me, the last time I checked, and this morning, and right now that I'm talking to people, aging is a wonderful thing. The best thing that can happen to any human being is to grow old, is to age. If you grow old, you will look older. There's no two ways about it. Forget what doctors are doing right now. They are trying. Kudos to them. But my dear, old person na old person. Okay? And this person said, we are getting old, oh, wow. Not her. We are getting old, oh, wow. And this one said, the only actress without artificial nyash. And be this one problem. It be like say you don't get belly. She don't dey age. And just watch the comments. This one is a guy, Mayor. He said she don't dey age. And this one said, all this you're getting old is a very wrong statement. This coming from a lady. Oh no, Hangozi. All this you're getting old is a very wrong statement. Is old age a sin? He who says old age is a sin, let him be young. Okay, I think I'm just going to stop there. The comments are a whole lot. If you want to see this, go to Chifimo's channel. You will see lots of silly comments coming from people. I don't know how we got here, but we need to retrieve from this rubbish. Okay, we have our younger ones looking at us, and when they go for surgery, you people will complain. And when they don't do surgery, you will complain. You'll be the one to body shame them. And when they try to fix that thing, you will still be the one to complain. What is your problem? What are your problems? What shades are your problems? Because I don't understand. Zizaloma or Zikaloma did his nose. You people always said, oh, look at his nose. Look at his... Now, another place is his forehead. He has fixed his nose. We're now on his forehead. Trailer run for your forehead. This one happened to your forehead. He will fix it. We'll be the one to complain. Why can't we just know that everyone is different? We are all made beautifully and in a different form and different shape. It's not everybody that will be slim. It's not everybody that will be fat. It's not everybody that will look good. I don't even know who taught us what beauty is. I don't know how we come about. Oh, this one is beautiful. This one is that. But even though, please let people be. Let the living breathe in peace. I come in peace. I'm going to work and I saw that. I was so pissed. I said, no, I'm going to come and say something about this because it's getting too much. It's getting way, way too much. Okay? Let's stop it. Let's stop it. If you don't have kids today, you're going to have kids tomorrow. Even if you don't have kids tomorrow, you're going to have nephews, nieces. You're going to have a family member that will watch this, your rubbish at some point. What are you teaching them? So you don't want anyone to old. You don't want anyone to get old. So when they're aging, what do you want them to do? Because that is her. She can't change herself because she didn't create herself. So what do you want her to do? This is me. I didn't create myself. Okay? What do you want me to do? Can you see this smile line? Because I laugh a lot. Even if I don't laugh a lot, I'm 40 something. Yes, at some point, I go wrinkle. Waiting, where I want to carry the wrinkle. It go show for una face. You will see me wrinkle in front of you. So what will I do when that time comes? And I go do surgery, fix am now, una go talk. If I don't do surgery, fix am now, una go still talk. Una also. Una hebre, una land. No. I una no. You could not learn to be calming down now. Just calm down now. I'm out. I am out.
I actually have a friend like this right now. And guys, she is obsessed with youth. She is 36 years old and looks 30 right now. And I told her and said, look, you are getting older. You should not expect to look 26 when you're 36. It is a part of life. And as you work more, you look older because your body is physically more tired than it was when you were younger because you work less overall in your lifetime. And she has done a few surgeries. And I told her, you look good for your age. You look good already. You don't have to do all of these things just to stay young forever. You know what I'm saying? It is good to care for yourself even at a older age, but you have to embrace being that age. You cannot run away from it. And it will show. When you are a baby, it shows. When you are a teenager, it shows. When you're in your 20s, it shows. When you start aging, late 30s, late 40s, 50s, 60s, it starts to show. That is a natural process of things. And anyone who is out here always trying to shame people for aging is a part of life. The most important thing is to feel good. It's to exercise. It's to do skincare. It's to eat right, take care of your body. Do what you can at your age and age very well.
I need y'all to start seeing aging as the blessing that it is. Y'all are over here injecting your faces with God knows what in this chase to reclaim youth. Meanwhile, American taxpayer dollars are being used to bomb Palestine. Babies that are days old are being killed. And you are over here worried about getting wrinkles on your face. Insane work. Insane fucking work. I just want y'all to think about that. The next time you decide you want to just, get a needle in your face because you feel like you don't look young enough anymore, think about the fact that there are children who are not getting to age because of America.
Y'all, the ageism has got to stop. To my fellow young ladies, please stop shaming women in their 40s, their 50s, 60s on what they choose to do with their life. One day, God willing, you are going to be in that age group. And I hope that you are your best self and doing whatever you want to do without somebody who barely out their mama house telling you how you should live. Or other people who your age telling you how you should live. Do what you want to do. Age is nothing but a number, and youth comes with how you feel, okay? You're only old if you want to be old, okay? Leave our 40-some, 50-some-year-old sisters alone, okay? Because they looking good, they doing good, and that's something that we should admire. Stop with the ageism. It's getting old, okay? Leave them alone. Leave them alone.
All right, I have a question. as women, when did we start caring so much about how other people perceive our age? Like on this app pretty regularly I see, okay, tell me, how old do you think I look? As if there's an associated worth with a specific number. And listen, I'm not immune to wishing I looked younger, hoping that I have a more youthful appearance at times, but I'm 42. I look 42. And if I look back on my life, like, I have so much more richness in my 40s than I did in my 20s. Like, I have greater success in my professional life, my personal life. I just feel more joy and more fulfilled. I'm so comfortable in who I am. Who cares if somebody thinks I look 50? Like, you think I look 50? Congratulations. Like, okay. It doesn't take away from who I am. Where did this come from?
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.